Hey y'all, welcome back. I hope everybody is having a fabulous day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, what have you, wherever time of day it is for you. So we're going to do a little bit of line work today and show you how I practice doing line work. And if you have any issues with line work, I hope this helps, and I hope you like the design in general. Now, my line work is far from perfect, so you'll have to bear with me. Like I said, I am practicing, and I do practice this way quite often because I want to get my line work the way I want it. It's not perfect, but I am getting better with it. Line work is definitely something that we all need to practice on a regular basis, otherwise you don't get better. What's that old saying? Practice makes perfect. So anyway, I am going through and putting a coat of color on two nails because I'm going to do two practice nails. It is going to be the same design, but you'll see that throughout the video, each nail, the design gets a little better and a little more defined, and that's what practice is for. And y'all, I wanted to try this cat eye out so bad, so I couldn't resist putting it on this nail. I absolutely love it. Most of you know I absolutely love cat eye. It is on the list of some of my top favorite polishes. So anywho, once I get two layers of the color down on each nail, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put that cat eye on this black one. And I just want to try it out and see what it looked like. And y'all, oh my gosh, it's stunning. And it is an E-Nail Couture cat eye polish, which it's the only one I have, which is Nail Sister gifted to me. So thank you, my love. You know who you are. So anyway, once I get these cured and I get the cat eye on there, I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of matte top coat on these. And I actually do 2 layers of matte top coat just because I wanted a good surface to work on. And matte top coat usually makes doing line work and a lot of nail art a lot easier because your polish just doesn't run all over the place. Whereas a shiny surface, it makes your life hard. Your polish will run and it won't stay where it is. And y'all, I'm not using the potted gel. I am using regular gel polish for these, which is what I typically like to work with when doing nail art. Because for me, it is a lot easier to manipulate. Do you see that cat eye? Oh my gosh, it is so gorgeous. It looks like it's got hints of blue, but once you hit it with the magnet, it looks just pretty much purple. So I think you could wear it either way, depending on the effect that you're looking for. I do, however, use a magnet, and you'll see that it is pretty much purple after you use the magnet. But it also gives a fabulous chameleon look. So I appreciate each and every one of you that takes the time to watch my videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to all my lovely nail sisters. Y'all rock. And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you do consider it because I really do enjoy having you here with me. And I absolutely love to read all your comments. The support y'all give me is just absolutely wonderful, and I just love y'all for it. Every single one of you is absolutely amazing in my book. And if I happen to forget, I want to mention that we have some awesome nail brothers as well. So if you aren't following them, you definitely need to check them out because they are super talented and fun as well. I think sometimes we forget that we have plenty of nail brothers that excel in doing nails. So anyway, I'm about to put the matte top coat on these, and then we will be ready to do our line work practice. And I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you are going to try this and how it works out for you. And just keep practicing, y'all. It takes practice. You're not going to get it overnight. I know I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm still not happy with it. But each time I practice, I get a little better. This slow and steady progress. So you can see me use two brushes. I do use longer brushes for doing line work. It makes life so much easier. This is a 20 millimeter brush, and I think I changed to an 11 millimeter brush at some point. So I am starting at the top of the nail, and I am just slowly dragging that brush down the nail. And I do that until I actually run out of polish in the brush. And if I have to, I'll go back and touch it up as much as possible. But let your brush do the work. Just drag it, and it will create that flawless line. Now, while I'm doing this, I actually had the shakes so bad, but using this technique, my line still came out pretty straight. I think I had too much coffee yesterday, but that's all right. You can always go back and straighten up those lines if you notice anything is not quite to your liking, or you can just use a cleanup brush or just completely start over depending on how you're feeling. And you will see me use a cleanup brush in this design because I wasn't completely happy with some of my line work in certain areas. Now, I am not trying to make things perfect. I just want to make sure that my lines are as straight as I can be, and that's the whole point of doing this exercise. And once I get those first initial lines down through the length of the nail, I'm going to go through and I'm going to make some little tick marks, which are going to be the indicators for where my design is actually going to meet up. Then I'm going to go through the side lines and do the same thing, but I'm going to put those little tick marks in between the tick marks on the middle of the nail. And they will all eventually line up, and this is how I start my design, and it makes life so much easier. It gives you a guide to where you start your lines and where you end them. I do want to mention that when you are doing line work, you don't want so much to move your brush as you do want to move the nail itself. If you're just moving the brush and not the nail, your brush will actually lose contact with the nail, which will give you a line that is not straight and just doesn't look as good. So definitely move the nail and not so much your brush. And I will show you an example of that through the video where I actually move the brush and not the nail. And then this will give you see how I move the nail as I go, and not the brush stays in one spot. I don't move the brush at all. I just drag the brush across the nail as I turn the nail. So I'm doing these diagonally across, which is going to give me part of the layout for my design. And then when I get these done, you can either cure at this point, or you can just keep going. I just keep going. I don't really see there. I moved the brush and not the nail, and my line came out all catawampus. So that shows the difference between moving the nail and moving the brush. You move the brush and your line doesn't come out straight, but you move the nail itself and your line will come out a whole lot straighter. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch for a few minutes. If there is anything that I feel I need to explain, I'll jump back in. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the description box. I'd be so thrilled to know what you think about this and how I do line work. And how do you practice line work? How often do you practice line work? I practice line work probably about once a week or every 2 weeks. It just depends on what my daytime schedule is. So anyway, I will go ahead and let you watch, and I will jump back in if there's anything I need to explain. Oh, I forgot to mention that I'm going to do 2 nails. It's pretty much the same design, but I'm doing two different looks with the design. So make sure you check out the second nail too, because I think you'll like it. Okay, so this time I am going to put a little tick mark on the top of the nail and the bottom in the dead center, so I know where to start and stop, where I want my line to start and where I want my line to stop. And you see that that line is not exactly straight, but I do go back and fix it. And it doesn't take much. It just takes putting a little more gel polish on it and running it down the area that might be a little crooked. Also, I do want to say, make sure to load your brush as full of gel polish as you can get it without having a little ball of gel polish at the tip of your brush. That will create problems in the long run. You'll have big blobs in your line, usually at the start of your line, unless that's the look you're looking for. I personally don't do that unless I'm doing like scrolls or something like that. Then I might leave a little ball of gel polish at the tip of my brush. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you watch again, and if there's anything I need to explain, I will come back and let you know. And do you see that, the way I actually picked up my brush off the nail? So that line is no longer as straight as it could have been. I never should have picked up my brush until I was done with the line, but it happens. So if you're doing straight lines, just keep in mind not to pick up your brush till you finish that line. So I'm going to go back to the other side and I'm going to do these lines. And the reason why I did one side and then the other, see, I moved the brush and not the nail there, and it made my line kind of squiggly. But why I'm doing the half of the nail on one side and then going back and doing half of the nail on the other side is because I wanted to practice not just long lines, but I wanted to practice doing shorter lines as well. And that's how I do it. I split my lines up in between the sides of the nails. I'll first do the left side and then I'll go back and do the right side. So you can use this design to practice both lengths, both long lines and shorter lines. And then the inside of the star design is super short lines. So for those, you may want to go to an even smaller brush. I don't. I'm using the 11mm brush because this is actually my absolute favorite brush out of all the brushes that I have currently. And I hope you've made it this far and are still enjoying this little tutorial. And if you have made it this far, please leave me a little star emoji or a purple heart so I know that you've been here. I do appreciate that.